Hey, boys and girls, Miss Carpenter here. I hope you had an awesome weekend. Last week we were working on comparing and contrasting in literary text, so we were comparing and contrasting the experiences of characters. This week we're going to be comparing and contrasting in informational text. Informational texts are what we sometimes call nonfiction text. These texts give us information about real topics. Remember, comparing and contrasting is a comprehension strategy. It helps us to better understand what we read because when we compare and contrast topics, we have to think more deeply about them. Let's get started by reviewing what we learned last week. When you compare and contrast in reading, you are looking for things that are the same and things that are different. So remember, when you compare, you explain how things are the same, and when you contrast, you explain how they're different. If I want to compare these two photographs, I can see that both of the photographs are taken outdoors, both photographs have trees in them, and both photographs are habitats for animals. If I want to contrast these two photographs, I'm going to explain how they're different. One way that they're different is the temperature. I can tell that the photograph on the right has a much colder temperature than the photograph on the left. Also, the colors are very different. In the photograph on the right, it's mostly white because of all the snow, whereas the one on the left is much more green. I want you to compare and contrast these two things, an airplane and a car. Think about the ways that they are similar and the ways that they are different. You can pause your video and say those out loud or to a grown-up. Okay, now I'll share mine with you. A car and an airplane are both modes of transportation. They're ways to travel. So that's a similarity. However, they are different because an airplane can carry many passengers, whereas a car can only carry a couple passengers. A car like this one would only be able to fit 5 people. Today, I'm going to read you 2 informational passages. The topic of the first passage is the cheetah, and the topic of the second passage is the sailfish. After I read these passages, we're going to play a little trivia game to see if you were listening. So make sure you're paying close attention. And then we're going to compare and contrast the topics of these passages. All right, here's our first passage, the cheetah. Cheetahs are mammals that can run very quickly. They are the fastest land animals. These cats can run at speeds of up to 70 miles per hour. This is the same speed as a car driving quickly on the interstate. Cheetahs cannot keep up this quick speed for long periods. This cat tires out very easily. After a quick burst of speed, a cheetah will need to rest to catch its breath. It also needs its body to cool down. Wow, how interesting. I knew that cheetahs were fast, but I didn't know this information about how they tire very easily. That was new information to me. What about you guys? All right, so there's our passage about the cheetah. Now let's learn about the sailfish. I actually don't have much prior knowledge about sailfishes. I've never heard of those before, so I'm excited to learn some new information here. The sailfish. A sailfish is a type of fish that lives in the ocean. Known for its speed, a sailfish is very special because it can swim at high speeds. This fish can swim 100 yards in only 4 seconds. Sailfish are also known for leaping out of the water at the ocean's surface. They grow to about 6 to 10 feet and are covered in gray and blue tinted scales. They can weigh up to 200 pounds. They get their name from the tall dorsal fin that resembles a snail. They are the fastest ocean animal. Wow, the fastest ocean animal. How cool. This was all new information for me. Okay, so let's see who was really paying attention. Let's do a little bit of trivia here. I want you to call out which animal does this fact apply to? This animal can swim up to 100 yards in 4 seconds. Is it the cheetah or the sailfish? That is the sailfish. If you said sailfish, you are correct. Okay, here's our next fact. This animal can run 70 miles per hour. That is the cheetah. Very good. Okay. This animal leaps out of the water at high speeds. That is the sailfish. If you said sailfish, you are correct. And lastly, this animal has to take breaks to cool off and catch its breath. That is the cheetah. Very good. Okay. Last, let's talk about a Venn diagram. So we know that a Venn diagram is a tool for sorting information. We learned that last week. And the Venn diagrams that we have been using have been comparing two topics. So each topic has a circle. And where the circles overlap in the middle, that is where we write the similarities, the things that they have in common. So thinking back to the passage that we just read, the cheetah and the sailfish are both animals. So I put that in the middle. They're both animals. And the topic of both of these passages was the speed at which these animals can travel. So I put travel at fast speeds in the middle of the Venn diagram because that's a similarity that they have. Both of these animals are super speedy. However, they also have a lot of differences. Let's talk about the differences. Those go in the outer edge of the circle. So the cheetah is a mammal. The cheetah runs on land, and the cheetah gets tired easily. That's different than the sailfish. Whereas the cheetah is a mammal, the sailfish is a fish. Their habitats are also different. The cheetah lives and runs on land, whereas the sailfish lives in the ocean. And a final difference for the sailfish is that the sailfish is covered in gray and blue scales, whereas a cheetah is covered in fur. All right, boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed learning about the cheetah and the sailfish and comparing and contrasting these two animals. You are also going to be reading two passages today and comparing and contrasting the nonfiction topics. All right, good luck with your work. I'll see you soon.